What's up everyone, and welcome to the channel. So today we're going to take a look at the 2023 Chevrolet Camaro. This is the ZL1 convertible. Huge shout out to Carolina Auto Direct for providing this muscle car for me today. Check out their website. They have a ton of pretty much brand new inventory. That link is down in the description. So the ZL1 is finished off in Summit White. MSRPs are right around $75,000. And this is powered by the 6.2 liter supercharged V8 paired to the 10-speed automatic transmission. It pumps out 650 horsepower, 650 pound-feet of torque. All of that power is sent to the rear wheels. This weighs in right around 4,100 pounds. It'll do 0 to 60 in 3.5 seconds. Top speed is just shy of 200 miles an hour. It also has a fuel capacity of 19 gallons. You'll expect to see around 13 miles per gallon in the city, 21 out on the highway. This also has a wheelbase of 110.7 inches. Its overall length is 190.2. It has a width of 75 and a height of 52.6 inches. As we move on to the exterior styling now for this ZL1, there's really only three main differences up front aesthetically that make this different from the lower trim levels. We'll start up top on the hood, where there's a functional heat extraction portion in the front section, ZL1 badge, and of course you can get this in carbon fiber too. It's a very nice metallic black for this model. This has the hollow Chevy bow tie and then the gloss black in the lower section for the front spoiler. Everything else is virtually identical. There are some larger inlets on both sides with the DRL in a little bit different of a design, but the center grille, the upper section are very similar with the thin headlight housings and all of the airflow that can go to that engine. Now for the side, this has a set of 20-inch wheels all around. They're 10 inches wide up front, 11 wide in the rear, with those Brembo brake calipers finished off in a similar color. This has body colored side mirrors, more gloss black in that lower side skirt. And as you can tell with the soft top up at the moment, I think it has a really nice design to it, but we can also take a look at it with the top down. So simply unlock it. You do have to hold on this button until the top has been completely put away. Now that is the trunk storage that you get when the top is up, and then the top folds into that front section there when you have it all the way down. And what is it? Once it is completed, now we have that top-down experience that you're looking for when you buy a convertible. Now as we work our way to the back, this has the trunk-mounted spoiler with the backup camera in that middle post there. There's a third brake light, LED taillights that have that 3D design to them. There's parking sensors, more gloss black, and then that quad tip dual exhaust. Now we can also take a listen to that. Simply lock it, hold this button, and it will fire up. You can also hold on that to shut it off if you'd like to. From there, the last button is for the trunk, but you can also use the more convenient one underneath if you have your hands full. Now in the back, since we have the top down, this divider is up at the moment. So this is the amount of space that you get. Really not all that much, but when you have the top up, that gives you a lot more. So it is practical, even though it is a convertible, you still have plenty of space. You also have the back seat space too, if you need more interior storage. Now for the ZL1, we have alcantara for pretty much the entire door panel. A little bit of storage, trunk release, Bose audio, all of the window controls, even some memory seating adjustments too, and all of the red stitching. Camaro is down on the door sill too, and then take a look at these Recaro seats with the ZL1 badge, leather and alcantara with more of the red stitching. If I fold this seat forwards now, you do have to use the automatic controls down below if you need a little bit more room for your feet. But at 5'10" with the top down, of course it is easy to enter. We have wireless charging, very nice attention to detail for these seats. Virtually no leg room where this seat is, so you would have to move that pretty far forward for your front passenger if you really needed to use these. But with the top up, obviously you can tell I have to duck. I could ride around here for a few minutes if that. So if you really needed to use it, you could, but it's mainly for extra storage in the back. And then it does take a little bit of time to wiggle on out. But once I'm out, let's make our way to these front seats now. For the ZL1, this also gets alcantara for the entire steering wheel, which is a nice touch. We have the paddle shifters as well. There's favorites and volume. Left side, you get cruise control with the heated steering wheel button. Right side, there's Bluetooth and voice commands, and then these are for the digital gauge cluster. So let's fire this back up and listen to this V8. And then coming back to the gauge cluster now, tach is on the left side, miles per hour is on that right side. And then for the LCD screen, there's fixed info in the top, like your fuel level. There's also battery voltage, oil life, and oil temperature. And then underneath that, you can go through a lot of vitals. So just by scrolling through all of this, there's a good bit that you can go through. Now, if I go to the left, we can go to the performance tab now. And there's a few other vitals that you can scroll through, just depending on what you would like to see. You can also go into your audio, navigation, phone, and there's some different options that you can go into, including launch control, which you can activate and deactivate as needed. Now, as we go to the left side, there's the head-up display controls, a dimmer switch, and one air vent. And then the head-up display currently is showing a compass and the miles per hour. I can pull up the G-force meter along with the tach, and then just have miles per hour, or pull up the audio too. So just depending on what you would like to see displayed there. And then for the touchscreen system, we have the split screen for your audio as well as your phone. You can go into your Apple CarPlay, Android Auto. You have a few other apps, including the ambient lighting that you can monitor. And there's also shortcuts in the lower section that you can quickly get into, just depending on what you need. Physical buttons for home, power and volume, and tuning as well. Pretty simple system. It is easy to go through, however. This also has ventilated seats, heated seats. You have the temperature adjustments just by twisting the fan speed. Where you'd like the air to go, fan speed, defrosters, everything is laid out very well. There's the hazards, more alcantara on the shifter, which is nice to see. Backup camera has plenty of visibility along with the guidelines that you can adjust. And you can also shift using the shifter or the paddle shifters themselves. Now behind that, there's traction control as well as a few different driving modes. So just depending on how you feel like driving, the throttle response that you want, you can adjust that. There's also a 12 volt, the e-brake, 2 cup holders, a little bit of storage in the center armrest, and then plenty in the glove box. There's also more alcantara for that airbag cover. Now what's cool about this Camaro is it has that digital camera to give you that much more visibility. We have the top operation, and then a look at visibility from the driver's seat. That is a pretty big pillar back there, but honestly, it's not that hard to see around once you have your mirrors set and you learn where to look. It's really not all that bad. But let's get this muscle car out on the road. As we set off now behind the wheel for the ZL1, this is a really cool American muscle car option to go with. And with that supercharger, let's see if we can hear it a little bit. I think the exhaust is going to overpower it. We'll go to second gear. Oh no, you can hear that supercharger whine. Combined with that exhaust, it definitely sounds really good. Now this vehicle is in the mid $70,000 range, just depending on the options that you go with. You can get some carbon fiber goodies on the exterior too, if you would like to. A few on the interior, I believe. So it's expensive for a Chevrolet, but it's really a Camaro. It's an American muscle car that is pretty popular. I will say though, of the three, I think it's the least popular as far as the ones that I've seen on the road. You see Mustangs everywhere, I see Challengers everywhere. The Camaro, while it's popular, it's kind of more on that rare side, which is why I would lean towards it a little bit more of the three. Let me know which of the three is your favorite, but I would pick it just for that reason alone. I've been able to drive all three. They all have advantages and disadvantages just depending on what is going to work best for you. But for the price, not only are you getting a very practical vehicle, you can drive this every single day, but you also have the power to take it out on some back roads. You can have some spirited fun with it, take it to the track, and then now we're just cruising like normal. You can take this to work, just drive it to do errands. It's a really good blend between practicality and having a sports car. Now the practicality is a fine line because you're really not putting people in the back. There's not as much trunk space with the top down, but you still have the space to make it doable if you don't have a lot of big items. So just depending on your lifestyle, this could be your only vehicle. It could be a fun second toy, just depending on what you want to do. And then we have the different driving modes too that don't really do anything. Maybe a little bit more throttle response. It's definitely quick. I love hearing that supercharger whine. That doesn't get old. But even with this convertible top, we have a truck passing us. You didn't even really hear that. I love how convertibles today are very, very well insulated. So you're not just getting the soft, raggy top, very well insulated soft top for this car. So it just makes it that much more enjoyable to daily drive. And from second gear, here we go. And with a mild acceleration, we got some pops in that exhaust, but we are up to speed just like that. Pedals do a really good job. You can go with the manual if you are a 3 pedals kind of person, but the pedals are pretty responsive. It's going to be a quicker car than the manual, but there's more of that fun factor that you can argue with changing gears yourself. But the paddles are super responsive, so they are nice and quick to use if you still want to have some fun with them. But behind the wheel now for this $75,000 Chevrolet, it's a very nice interior. I know some people have said that the interior for the Camaro is a little outdated. I think it's still nice. Maybe we'll see something for 2024. There's rumors that the Camaro is going to be discontinued. I kind of find that a little hard to believe with the new Mustang coming out and some of the other muscle cars that are available. So we'll see what Chevrolet does. But for now, with the rumors, this 2023 is the last year. Now, coming back to the interior, I think it's nice for this car. It's pretty simple. It's straightforward. It has everything that you need, so it's not overcomplicated. I see no issues with it. I think it's a really nice look. We have some very nice materials too. There is some plastic up on the dash, which is interesting to see with all the alcantara. Maybe that could be covered in leather or something. So I could see some of those aspects for the price. This should have a nicer material on it. But aside from that, I really don't have any complaints with it. And turning radius is pretty tight, so it's easy to make a UE. And we'll give it another acceleration. And back up to speed. But it's super comfortable. Like I mentioned earlier, there's not a lot of road noise, wind noise, things like that. I love these Recaro seats. Definitely fit me well for my body size and body type. And then as we come up to this turn here, we have to get under about 22 miles an hour or so in order to start the top operation. So we have just made it. So you can do this while moving. I'd say it takes about 15-20 seconds, so you just have to time it with traffic, where you are, and being able to completely do this while you are moving. Once we hear that beep, it is ready to go, and then for audio purposes, we will put all 4 windows up. You can switch between front and rear. We'll put it back into manual mode, and let's listen to that supercharger and that exhaust. Definitely sounds really good. There might be some interior wind noise, obviously, with the top down and even the windows down. That is the experience that you are looking to get. That top down experience with the windows up though, it's pretty composed. I'm not yelling too much, but I want you to obviously be able to hear me. Now there is wind, of course, and that's obviously what is to be expected with the top down, but it's beautiful. Beautiful day today to put that top down and still enjoy being in your muscle car. Definitely the best of both worlds. If you are a convertible type of person, it's a good option to go with, and it's super easy to put the top back up just by doing the reverse order, of course. That is going to wrap it up though for this 2023 Chevrolet Camaro ZL1 convertible. Once again, a huge shout out to Carolina Auto Direct for providing this muscle car for me today. Check out their website. That link is down in the description. Give this video a huge thumbs up if you enjoy it. Consider smashing that subscribe button so you don't miss out on our daily uploads. I will see you all in the next video.